Welcome back to another episode of Andrew's Garage. Today is the first time we're actually putting in some work on this SR100 fiberglass body, and pretty much you can tell I've got this piece of steel chucked up in there, which I need to lower it down some, but I just need to start somewhere. So I'm going to start with this main tub section, and I made it wider than what it is currently. I think I have a pretty good idea of how much wider I'm going to make it. But for now, I think this is going to be close enough to get us in the ballpark zone. If it needs to be wider, it's fine. If it needs to be 4 inches narrower, I still have that room. So this measurement here, or how wide. This one here, it's easily to fix either way. I know it's not going to be too narrow, but if it is, it's no big deal either. So I still got wiggle room. So basically what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut these two long 46s, these are long ways. It actually will start kind of back here, and I wanted to bring it in some. It's supposed to set inside, and the floorboards are going to come out farther, because I don't want to have it all the way out to the edge, because then you're going to see it, and you're not going to see it too much because I'm going to put side pipes on it, but when it starts coming back here, then you're going to start to see it, and I don't want to stop that tube like right where that fender well goes down, because you're going to see that square on the body. I want to bring it in to where it's kind of hidden. So that's kind of my goal, and then I'm gonna have to come up with some design to get these vertical ones down here coming from this to kind of tie it all in to where I maximize my room for this specific body. So it's gonna be tough, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. So I just need to start somewhere. So let's go ahead and start cutting these frame rails up and start getting them tacked together, get a main shape, and then I'll probably go out to the barn and get my spare tires. Go ahead and mark where it stops to the center of the wheels, so then that gives me a good idea of what I need to do, and it's no big deal to move stuff around. Got all my tubes cut. It's all super nice. Now I just need to get everything tacked up. I've already got it squared out from left to right. While it's sitting here, I know the concrete's level, so I'm going to go ahead and start tacking this up and trying to get it pretty rigid so that I can do some double checking and everything. Got all my frame welded up, everything looks good. Moving on to this rear end. I went ahead and took the monoleaf or reverse leaf off and flipped it. So 3 leaves are the right way and the rest of them are on the bottom to keep the gap right for the bracket to tighten down. So now I actually have suspension, so it's kind of sitting at ride height where I want it. And I'll just take them out and put them back on top as I go to increase the ride height until I get it where I want it once everything's in the car. But until then, this is a nice way to where you don't have to worry about spring rates or anything, because you can just keep adding a leaf on top until you get the ride that you want. So I've got these mock-up wheels and tires on. They're on there, and unbelievably, they do not hit right now. So I'm gonna get this body flipped up, bring this frame in here, bring the rear end, set it here, and lower the body back down. And I know it's gonna look stupid because the tires might completely be out of the fenders, but it'll give me a good idea of where I need the frame and to center out the wheels inside of it. So that rear end will be sitting at ride height. I'll put the frame up on 6 inches up off the ground. That's where I want it. And then once I get that squared off and centered with the rear end, then I can weld the vertical bars going up to it. I'm not sure. I would make something beforehand, but I don't know if I can put a 2x3 3 inches tall this way. If I can get away with it, I will. If I can't, then I'll have to lay it down if that gains me any room, an inch. But I'm not sure what it's going to do, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to set it in there and see and find out what happens. Now this is why visualizing is key, and seeing something and getting a perspective on it is so crucial in my eyes, because I can dream it, but it really works when I can see it and figure out some things beforehand, because this is a process like this. It's going to take a bunch of thinking and planning beforehand, and that's kind of why I'm kind of stumped. I've been sitting for about a half hour. So basically, the whole reason why I want this car 6 inches off the ground is to clear things, because if it's any lower than this, you're just not clearing things. So this needs to be at ride height. This frame minimum has to be 6 inches off the ground for the whole span. Now I know the front is going to go up and over that front cross member, which is all fine and dandy. So the only part I really have to worry about is this part here. And honestly, if it was that high off the ground ride height, I know it's going to be fine and clear everything. When you start getting lower, that's when you start rubbing. So basically, it's me thinking with this body mounted on top of the frame like I was going to do, I don't like how tall it is at all. So because that rear end's sitting where I want it to at ride height. So that's where the wheel end is going to go inside the fender well if this is 6 inches off the ground. So I don't like it. So the only way I can fix that is by channeling this body down over top the frame. When I widened it, I made sure to make this frame the inside measurement here, from here to the other inside. Then I added 15 inches to it, and that's how I got my overall width. Just in case I wanted to channel it, I wanted to be sure I didn't bring my frame out to here, and then all of a sudden now I want to channel it and I can't get it over it. So that was the reasoning behind me making the frame the width I did. So basically it's just a different process. Instead of, because I'm planning on putting like 16 gauge on top of the frame and overhanging it, and then I was going to bolt the body on the outside, and now it just changes the process to your 16 gauge goes on the bottom side, body gets channeled down over, and it bolts down here instead. So that's no big deal. And I've already did some measuring. I ran a straight edge from the top of this fender well to the closest part on top of this body, and that was 3 inches. So I know that when the wheel and tire is tucked in the fender, I need roughly 4 inches of travel, because that's about what I think a stock vehicle driving on the road truly needs. So right now, 3 inches until it gets to that point to where I have 3 more inches of travel before it bottoms out. So basically I can drop this down 2 inches and still be fine. So that's kind of where I'm at with the frame. So if I was to drop this down, channel it 2 inches over this 3 inch frame, that'll give me 1 inch of reveal on the frame, basically. And that's not really enough room to run side pipes like I planned on. And then you also see 1 inch of the frame, but you probably won't see it because it's going to be tucked in. So not too concerned about that. And then all of a sudden, if I do that, now the exhaust is probably going to exit way up there with some fender well behind the rear tire exits with some shorties, because more than likely I won't have enough room to run the exhaust inside of here. But on the behind side, it just, until you get the body on there and the transmission in there, you just don't know how much room you truly have. And that's kind of where I'm at, is I need to get something figured out. So this body's gonna need to be widened and kind of set over the frame and kind of sitting there for me to get a better idea, which I don't think that'll be that big of a deal. But where I'm a little bit puzzled at is these trailing arms that come out here. So basically the tire is inside the fender well where I want it, but these trailing arms are gonna give me some problems. So as you can see, they're into the cockpit, which I was really hoping they'd be like 3 inches shorter somewhere back here. So if that was bolted back there, that would give me all the room I need, no problem, because what I'm thinking is a seat angle of something like this. So it's gonna come back and butt all the way up to this back here. But when I run this over at that angle, you can tell that this is going to be in the way, and I'm afraid if I do that, now it's going to be too steep. But maybe not. I don't, it's hard to tell, and I know it's going to be tight is what I'm getting at. If I was to straight axle this with an S10 rear end or something like that, a 4-link bar I could put anywhere and hide it all, and the brackets would drop down below the center, and they'd probably mount directly on this frame, and it would be very nice and very easy and quick. So that would eliminate a lot of my issues until it comes to running exhaust, and then stuff starts getting in the way. Right now, you can see the pumpkin, how high it is. The exhaust, if I could run it out the back, would literally go on each side of the pumpkin, or I'd probably go into a Y and do a single 3-inch exhaust and come out the duals. If I could do that, just to get some stuff away from the floorboards. I know for a fact that it's going to be channeled over the bottom, or channeled over the frame to lower it down the way I want, and that kind of eliminates my thoughts of sinking the seat down inside the frame rail, because I was going to sink the seat and give me 3 inches more room. Because I hate the way, if you've seen some of these pictures, the guys' heads are way up here and the windshield's down here, so basically the windshield does nothing for you. So I'm going to be sure, no matter what, when I build this car, that you're going to be sitting down in the car, whether or not you're 6 foot or not, and your head's not going to be sticking over the windshield. That is a top priority on my list, is making a comfortable small car. I've had a not comfortable small truck before. So I think that's a pretty good little start for the day. That's a lot of work, and it doesn't seem like I got much done, but it feels like it sometimes. So thanks for watching this episode of Andrew's Garage. Don't forget to tune in next week for another episode where we try to figure out how to attach this rear end to this frame. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.